Yeah. And we've actually run into some companies that mention that they don't have the resources to really create personalized content. A lot of people assume that it takes one or two full-time people to do this. And so what do you think is the right stage for a company to start thinking personalized content, roughly a growth stage?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's always a matter of prioritization. I don't believe in whenever I hear the word we don't have resources, I kind of like challenge that, because you always have resources. It's just a matter of prioritization. So if you show that there's a return on investment on what you're doing, and that only occurs if you have initial tests and stuff like that, but you can also collect proxies by talking to other companies and similar. So if you know there might be a potential huge return on investment, like it makes no sense not to allocate time, resources into a project. And if you really don't have internal resources, nowadays there's always a way to have access to external resources, so then only becomes budget constrained. But again, it's a matter of priorities. Like it's true, if you introduce a new process, it means you have to stop something else, of course. But if the trade-off is a higher return on investment, why would you do that? Right? So it's either lack of priority or not addressing your priorities correctly. So there's always resources for everything. It's just like prioritizing things.
And you briefly mentioned experimentation there. How would you design a experiment for approaching personalized content?
Yeah. So basically, it's always about monitoring, like, for example, the customer journey, like the speed and efficiency, something like that. You can verify what happens when you address, prospects with generic content in general, versus you can see what happens when you talk their language, go to their events, prepare documentation which is relevant, and it's an easy experiment. Actually, you can collect data in terms of like time to value, time to first meeting, and speed to conversion, and so on and so on. And that is how you usually get buy-in for initiatives, right? Carry out a proof of concept, show that it had an impact, add another project, then show that it had an impact, add another one, and then you get your street cred in your company. And when you say we need to do that, everybody will say, yeah, let's do it.